Are you ready?
Here we go.
But anyway, enough mucking around. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of the After Sesh podcast. We are two hosts with the most. It's Adam and Aaron. What's the story, bud? It's been a long time. How are you getting on, bro? It's nice to know that we're both healthy. Wouldn't say fit now, we're both healthy.
It's been about 4 weeks since we last recorded an episode, and we both coincidentally have been sick during that time, and I think we're both still feeling it now 4 weeks later, which is a bit strange. So fuck it, we're back with a bang. We both have a gargle. We're going to enjoy tonight. Well, evening. We're going to enjoy this and absolutely smash the bollocks out of it.
Come here, as Tim Lizzie say, the boys are back in town, and it's good to be back, I have to say. And it's nice to be on our sponsor for this week, or not a sponsor this week, Corona, because you already fucked up 2 years. Why not fuck up one more night?
I have actually a special guest join us today. His name is Mr. James.
Oh. Is that not James's son? No.
I think it might be, yeah. I get the two mixed up.
Nice to meet him. I was actually out with him there on Saturday night. Bastard room meeting.
Remember that night around me after the McGregor Cowboy, was it?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. I think everyone else would be better off left without knowing the rest of that story anyway, to be honest. I don't think that's probably the best thing putting broadcasting onto the internet.
It's not, no. Just one
Maybe
thing before we
years
continue. For people that don't know, I had COVID there about 3-4 weeks ago. I'm still feeling it a bit now. I do have the odd cough, especially when I laugh, so just apologies in advance about that. I am sorry, but just don't like to do about it.
That's fair. That's a nice little public service announcement there. Thank you very much for that, Aaron.
I don't want to be rude around.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair enough. And you know what? I think a lot more people in this life should learn not to be rude. And speaking of being rude, first topic of this week, I think it's on everyone's mind. It's certainly kind of probably still imprinted on Chris Rock's face. It's the clatter heard around the world. What do you make of that? The Oscars are finally interesting again.
I honestly thought it was fake when I first seen it, because when he told a joke, it cuts to Will Smith laughing about it, and you just see his wife in the background just like looking pissed off and angry about it. And then I think he realised, oh shit, I better actually do something. She's upset about it. Just strolled up, like about to get an award looking walk on him. Walking like Vince McMahon, loving life, went up, kaboom, across the face. And looking at it first time, it looked like something out of WWE, the way he sold it. Like, it looks like he went with it. So I think he oversold it, but then I saw a slow motion replay of it, and he actually did catch him. So I was like, oh shit, he actually did catch him.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Good opinion. My real opinion on that, I think I said this to you the other day, is that I'm actually devastated that Will Smith was allowed to play Muhammad Ali. There's that much power in his punch. Like, I've seen more force coming from McGregor hitting an old man. And as you said, you think that Chris Rock oversold it. I think he undersold it. But from what I've heard, AEW and WWE are sniffing around both lads there, you know what I mean? Big names and also big ability, obviously, to fake throwing a punch on Will Smith's behalf.
What do you make of like the whole joke itself? Like, did you find it funny? Do you think it was offensive? Like, do you think he overreacted?
I'd never heard of G.I. Jane, and then like it was explained to me, and I was like, that's pretty funny. So she shaved her head. That was it. Like, I didn't really think it was a good joke. I didn't really think it was offensive, like in any way, shape, or form. Fair enough. Like your one, what's her name, Jada? She has alopecia, so it's not her choice to be shaving her head. But at the end of the day, like he could have said a lot worse, you know.
I don't think he was slagging her. Like, the intention was, it was supposed to be a joke, and I've heard this before, where if your intention was good and people take it out of context, then that's their own fault. That's their judgment. That's their perspective. So if he intended it to be a joke and someone took it out of proportion and like assaulted him, which he got assaulted. If you put it that way, I don't think it was right. But like, if he meant it to be a joke and not be offensive, like, that's what fucking everyone does. Everyone tells jokes, and if you go to a comedy show and you're offended by a joke, like, what the fuck do you expect? Was it Ricky Gervais that said if you see an advertisement for someone giving guitar lessons in the street, and you ring that number and you're offended by it, well, I can't remember the exact quote, but something along those lines, and like it makes sense. Like, why would you go out of your way to get offended by something?
I personally wouldn't. There's very little on the planet that would offend me, if anything, really. Like, to be honest, like personal jabs, even I kind of go, that's cool. That's nice that you have an opinion, mate. Doesn't mean I have to hear it, and it also doesn't mean I have to give a bollocks. That's
Yeah,
my way of looking at it. But it always comes back to the old adage for me that offense is it's taken, not given. You know what I mean? Like, as you said there, you say something, context is fucking everything realistically. So whatever way you take it, doesn't mean that that's how it was meant. You know.
yeah,
So Chris Rock, in my eyes, delivered a joke that, as I said earlier, not like harmful in any way, not bad, not even like too fucking, wasn't horrible in the slightest, to be honest. Fair enough, it might be a bit embarrassing, but at the end of the day, you're a multi-millionaire having a fairly easy life. So if someone takes the piss out of you once, you have to go and like, I don't know. To be honest, I've no real proper opinion on it because it's something I don't really give too much of a shit about. I just
no.
thought it was pretty funny that he chose such a weak slap. Like,
Yeah, I think he went up with the intention of like, I have to do something. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to punch him or do something mad. So I was gonna hit him a slap just to show my intentions and just put him in his place. I'm not gonna do any more harm. But
yeah, but you see him in the crowd afterwards, lip quivering, fucking tears in his eyes. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, right? He says that, and I wouldn't mind. Say it once, the crowd kind of would have like could have giggled at it and thought, "Oh, that's a bit." But then from him to go and shout it again a bit louder, the tears really looked like they were gonna come out. Then, unfortunately for the Fresh Prince,
yeah.
like you know what I mean. But I
Oh
don't
mate,
know.
the
It's just
amount of
cool.
memes flying around that after that was fucking brilliant. That's why I love the internet.
Oh,
Oh,
that's it, man.
brilliant.
That's one of the things that like Twitter and all is actually good for.
Yeah,
Don't get your news from Twitter. Just get your memes from it. Like that's
yeah.
all Twitter's there for. Memes and stupid opinions.
It's fucking brilliant. But like I seen somewhere as well that Will Smith and Jeda's relationship has always been an open one. It's always been out there, and I think
Yeah, sure. Was she
she,
not shagging Tupac for ages now?
yeah, it's kind of like say I think she cheated on him as well. So, they always had an open relationship. Fair play to him for sticking up for her. Probably anyone would, but like he's a comedian. He told a joke. I think he did overreact. Like I love Will Smith to death. He's an absolute legend, but I just do think he overreacted a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're looking at Chris Rock's just there to do his job, isn't he? Like
Yeah,
it's hard to do it. I'm sorry, there might be a few casualties from these. Oh, this kind of whoop ass is gonna open, but like it's just
it's a joke at the end of the
it
day.
boggles. Yeah, it's a joke. Like it boggles my mind how he'd even react like that, knowing that like I'm actually nominated for something. Now, in fairness, he eventually went on to win it later that night. But like he was nominated for something. This could be the biggest moment in my career. Let's go up and slap Chris Rock in the face to make a scene. Like, to me, that just it screams fucking stupidity. Or it's either that he was it's either that or excuse me, or he was really insecure over something. So I'd look at it like maybe all the jokes and kind of the barbs that were getting thrown at him over the open relationship thing probably hit him, and maybe that all kind of festered and all came out in one slightly, well, what would you call it? One little bitch slap.
Sorry, what you call it? Yeah.
Like I don't know what exact that thing. I don't even know what to call it. People were like, "Oh, it was a punch." I'm like,
No, like
no, like man, if you seen the
100%
size of Will
wasn't.
Smith, man, I'm pretty sure if you punched him, man, you'd hit the deck. Like you know what I mean? Like, but like it was a little Palmer. You know what I mean? A little
It
Laura
was.
Palmer, a little
I don't
open
think he
hand
got with the
shot,
palm. It was like if he got with the fingers. He got with the top of
a
his
little
mouth.
finger. Was it
Yeah,
a little finger dragger? They can be sore.
that he
They
can.
can be
But
sore.
I'd say
Leave a bit of
Chris
an
Rock looks
imprint.
well for his fucking age. You said he's
He
what,
does.
50 odd or something, pushing 60.
57. I think he's
Oh,
57, I believe. Yeah. He looks phenomenal, man. Oh, he
he killed
really
him, dude.
does. Like, yeah, in fairness now, like I think God love Will. I think Chris Rock stays the better for the years that he has in him. Like, you know what I mean? Well, he's like nearly 60, and bear in mind, if you said to me he was like fucking 38, 40, I'd be like, yeah, fucking probably is.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, yeah.
He looks it, like, you know what I mean? He just
Yeah.
doesn't age too badly.
The thing with Will Smith is I put him in the same bracket as The Rock. Like I respect them two immensely. Like I fucking love them two people. But
Mm.
just the way he lashed out and overreacted, and he looked cool walking up, looked cool walking back. But the fact that you laughed at it and then took offense to it was like, mate, you found it funny. You're just trying to stick up for your wife sort of thing. I get why you done it, but at the same time I don't agree with it.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird one anyway. But sure, look, what else happened at the Oscars? Oh wait, no
No
one
one else cares.
cares.
Literally couldn't tell you what else happened.
No, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? And like, this is the funniest thing about it. Movies have apparently, like, movie stars, actresses, actors, so much prestige. Look at all these amazing events, the Met Gala, all of that shit that they go to, the Oscars, the Golden Globes. But the best thing to come out of them so far, well, in the last few years, is Ricky Gervais ripping the absolute piss out of every single one of them,
Yeah.
and Will Smith giving someone a clatter. Like, that's the only notable things in the last few years that have happened. Like,
There is only one
other than
thing I
that, like,
know of that happened at the
and Leo won an
Oscars.
Oscar, but that was
Yeah.
bound to fucking happen at some stage. Like,
I don't know how he didn't win it for past performances, but there
before we go on
was.
to anything else, just while that's there, right? Leo DiCaprio obviously is who we're talking about here,
Mhm.
and he won his first ever Best Actor award, well, long overdue Best Actor award for The Revenant. Well, if you were to pick one movie from his entire filmography to give him an Oscar for, what would it be?
Wolf of Wall Street, hands
The
down.
Wolf. Would that be the sorry? Would that be the first movie out of his movies that you would have given bestowed an Oscar upon the fella?
Nah, maybe what the likes of Titanic or whatever, but the ones that stands out
I think
most
The
to me,
Aviator.
so I've never seen that. And the one he won an Oscar
It's
for, I've never seen that
absolutely
either.
deadly.
I thought The Wolf of
Both
Wall
phenomenal
Street,
films.
he should have won it for that because that was an unreal film. It's still good to this day.
The Wolf of Wall Street is one of the best movies ever, and I have a theory on that. That people watch, like lads our age, watch The Wolf of Wall Street. Lads of like 5 or 6 years, and I don't just mean lads, obviously girls as well. Like looked at it and went, "Fuck! It's that easy to make money investing," and
Yeah.
that's why investments. That's why crypto. That's why all these trading 212 and eToro and crypto.com. That's why they're popping up fucking everywhere because people want to get on board with it because they see, oh, lovely. All I have to do is play idiots.
Literally. But I think
Lovely. No.
the thing that pushed over the edge for me is that scene where he took a tablet that took like half an hour to kick in and he was like crawling down the stairs. That scene
Or
was
Quaaludes.
that was fucking gas. That.
If I'm being honest with you, if they were still available, I probably would have taken them by now. Like just half. Or do you know what I would have done? I would have planned it so half an hour before that scene comes on in the movie, pop one and just sit there, then try to watch that scene while on Quaaludes. Would that not be one of the funniest things you could
Start
do?
crawling over the C3 and acting it.
Just start trying to open your car with your foot and all, just leg up and all. Why not? Like, why not? Fuck
Getting
knows
on
what I'd
the
end up doing if I did that.
getting on the bus, scanning the leave card with your foot.
Isn't it? Weren't they like originally made? Because they say in the movie, I think they were like for pregnant women or for housewives or something like that. It was like, oh, it was made for like something completely different than getting out of your head. Like,
It probably was, yeah. But
uh,
I just think that his acting along with Margot Robbie just was a great film.
Jonah Hill.
Oh, Jonah Hill as well.
That's
Oh my god.
that was a career-defining performance for a man that seems to perform in every movie. That was one of his best by far, I think.
He is such an underrated actor. He's so good.
Donnie, one of the best characters ever put the screen.
What a legend he is. Like
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
3 absolute legends of like actors in a film, and he didn't win Best Actor for it, which he probably should have. It was long overdue, and he won it for a film that I've never seen. So, what do I know?
Yeah, no, I remember at the time when he did win it for The Revenant, a lot of people saying, "Oh, it was obviously a great performance and everything." In fairness, Leo doesn't really let the side down when it comes to a good performance. So, I remember a lot of people saying because The Wolf of Wall Street had come out a year previously that he was robbed that year, so they almost gave it to him out of sympathy. But his
Yeah.
performance in The Revenant is fucking phenomenal, man. It
Just go
really
off
is.
topic just real quickly. I know one other thing that
Go
happened
for it.
at the Oscars. Spider-Man No Way Home came
Yeah.
last in the fan favorite film. I don't know how, but it came last over like all the Cinderella and all this shit. Like, oh, it was one of the best films of the decade. Record-breaking numbers, everything, and it came last. I thought that film was fucking unbelievable. One of the best I've seen. We went to see it together on the day it came out. I thought it was unbelievable,
The same here.
and it came
Wouldn't deviate
last.
from that opinion. But here's the thing you need to realize about the Oscars. The Oscars isn't a meritocracy, and it's not about who made the best movie or who had the best performance necessarily. It's about how well you campaign. It's how well your studio campaigns for the award. Famously, now obviously he's not a not the best name to be mentioned in terms of Hollywood. But Harvey Weinstein and that whole, like, I think it was Miramax was his studio. They were but they were notoriously brilliant for their campaigning for getting people Oscars. So that is a huge part of how the award season works in film. Like,
Yeah.
oh, sure. Look, fuck them anyway.
Quick question: is it when we both finish, or just one of us?
I think it should be when we both finish, to be honest. See, I don't mind, because that's...
You better explain for those listening on Spotify, because they're like, what the fuck?
Oh, basically, me and Aaron have a drink each, okay? And the rule is, regardless of where you are in the point that you are trying to get across, if both drinks are finished, you tap them off the table, the point ends. You have to move on. I'm sorry, but we might revisit it another time. But who knows? Hit us up in the comments if we do actually run out of time on a certain thing that you want us to cover, or you want to look into yourself. Just let us know, and we can do further episodes of it.
I don't know if you'll be able to
Why
see
the
this,
fuck
but
not?
this whiskey glass has my name on it.
Does it?
I don't know if you can see
Oh,
it
so
properly.
it does, yeah. Happy days. Where'd you get that done?
Aiding obviously for Christmas there, just gone. It came with a Peaky Blinder whiskey that I still have there. And it's actually, no, it was Christmas before. Because I only opened it once, and that was when Liverpool won the league. It's the only drink I ever had out of it. I think I'm gonna save it for like special occasions. Like, not like people have like the Ace of Spades for like special occasion. I think the Peaky Blinder one's like for special occasions. So like Liverpool win the league, and if I ever have a kid, I'll probably have a drink, and just like I'm gonna keep it for like special occasions.
Yeah,
And
nice, man.
also, I was cleaning out my nanny's attic there probably last month, and just stuff in there from when, like, before I was born, and all my granddad's stuff who passed away when I was like a year and a half old. So I found his old, it's like a whiskey set. So do you ever see like the big whiskey glass thing with a like a lid in it? It's hard to explain what it is,
Yeah.
but I found that along with a lot of glasses. So I cleaned that out, and I'm gonna put that Peaky Blinder whiskey into that and just keep it for special occasions. I think it'd be a good tribute.
Sounds dynamite, man.
And on that note,
Sláinte.
I am finito.
Finito Mussolini, yeah. But anyway, yeah, do you know what we should do actually? Just to for the next time, right? Just so we know what people actually want to see. We'll put up a little poll on Instagram, guys, or even on Twitter, and we'll see if you wanted to change topic when one person's finished, and then meaning the other person has to down their drink.
It's only fair, I
Or,
think, but
well, like, if you want to go that way, we can segue.
oh,
What do you
we
think?
like to drink with Adam, cause Adam is a mate. And when we drink with Adam, he downs it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, hey! Well, he's a joke.
He's only gonna done it.
And just remember, people, drink responsibly.
Oh, come here, guys. I have my first day back in the office properly in, what is it, 2 years?
Yeah.
First day where I've been scheduled in on a weekly basis, and I'm less than happy with that. To be honest, to be perfectly honest.
At least I'm there with you.
No. Yeah, well, that's true. But you've been working in the office for a lot of the last 2 years. What have you made of it? What's it been like? Difference in terms of before, during, and after the pandemic? Have you noticed much of a difference in the place, or even in the behaviour of some of your colleagues? Now, I'm not asking you to call out anyone in particular, and if you do think I'll know who you're talking about, rather than saying the name, use my technique of saying you know who you are, right? So, do you think that there has been much of a difference in the vibe in the place?
Certainly now there is, yeah, because people haven't seen each other in so long. They're coming in, everyone's all chatty, all happy, having a chat, talking to people they never talked to before. Whereas beforehand, I thought when you came into work, it was a bit like you come in, work, go home. It was a bit like a dead environment sort of thing. And then during COVID, there was only maybe a handful of us in. It was very lonely at times. It was probably a bit awkward, because if you're trying to get an answer to your question, it's not just like turn around, ask your mate beside you, boom, sorted. on Skype, it's on Teams, it's taking ages to respond, it's people getting used to it. Yeah, but I think now compared to before, if you compare them two rather than during, there's a huge difference because this week in our job, it was the first time people were in the office for the first time in over 2 years, and there was about our office not really that big. It probably holds what 200 people, would you say, if even?
Our, I wouldn't even say, are you including the larger building over to the side as
No,
well, or are you just
just our
including?
one.
So our building tree, I'd say, to be honest, that holds about 40 people on each floor if it's at full capacity. So about
Yeah,
80 altogether.
yeah. So 40 on each floor, right? Let's say for argument's sake, and there was about 20 odd people in there when I was in the other day, and just seeing everyone so happy, people talking to people never talked to before, and having a laugh, and just asking like how they been, and it just felt like a genuine conversation people were having, and they're actually happy to see other people and happy to
Mm.
not just work for the whole day, but being able to have a chat, have a laugh with someone. And I know it's tough looking at the same four walls, and let's say for argument's sake, you have someone that works in their sitting room or in their kitchen, and then when you can't seem to get away from it because obviously you eat a dinner, you watch telly and all in the sitting room, so it's hard to separate your work life to your uh, actual personal life. So that starts to affect people as well. So I just think people are happy to get back. I think it's long overdue. I think it's time to move on. It is time to open back up. Everyone is going to get COVID eventually. Um, yeah, but it is. I think it is time to get people back to the office. Not full time now, but as a hybrid. I don't think we're ever going to go back to full time. Touch wood that we don't, because
That's right.
going back on a full time basis just doesn't seem right. It's not like you have the facility to work from home. Why would you waste time and effort to track like commuting an hour to work, half an hour to work, wasting time, wasting money to do the same job you can do at home? Yeah, it's good to go in to get the interaction and a bit of banter and all that, but at the same time, it is nice to sit at home a few days a week. So I do like the hybrid option, which is what I've been doing the past like year and a half. So I'm enjoying the balance, and I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, see, fair play, fair play. Because honestly, my only real gripe for going back
Oh,
to
that's
work is
strong.
honestly the commuting. It's genuine, it's commuting. It's having to wake up that little bit earlier than you would normally.
Yeah,
And not just, it's, John, it's the fakeness of it in terms of how a company can respond. Now, I'm not saying anything about the company that we work for, but I just believe that if you've been facilitated previously and allowed to work from home due to an extraordinary circumstance or due to the pandemic or anything like that, as you said, I don't understand why that can't continue in that capacity. If you've proven, or that, yeah, if you've proven you're fully capable of doing the same role, regardless of where you are in terms of actually fucking location wise, I don't see any issue with like leaving people as it is. I'd imagine a lot of companies might save a lot more money if they were to get rid of a few buildings. Then you know what I mean? Like it just frees up space. It'll free up capital for the companies. And like at the end of the day, what's their main expense then? It's not electricity. It's not heating in the buildings, which we know that's gonna go up anyway. It's not rent
yeah,
on buildings that they only have a lease for. The main expense is gonna be paying whoever your service provider is for your online network or your VPN, and then as well as that, paying to replace any equipment that might be needed or might need to be replaced. Like someone, if you need to roll out a new set of laptops or anything like that, or any hardware to go with the laptops, like that would be your only expense, that and wages. I
yeah,
don't really see the point in, excuse me, like reopening every previously closed business building to just have people go back in, especially when it comes to a health point of view. So I sent an article earlier today. So obviously take this with a pinch of salt, but um, if anyone's noticed, well, as me and Aaron both said, we were sick. So Aaron had COVID and I didn't have COVID, but our fucking symptoms were eerily similar. Bear in mind, I think mine lasted about a month and a half and feel like they're coming back. A few people I know, and I've chatted to people very close to myself. I've even just called them out and just gone, "Come here. I've noticed you're sniveling a lot. Does it feel like this? Do you have a pain in your forehead? Is it a stinging sensation in your sinuses?" what's the issue? And it's the same thing that I've had. So I wouldn't get too worried about it. But from this article, from the reading of that, basically, it says that people being locked away for 2 years might not be the best thing for your immune system. Bear in mind, I know everyone wasn't kept fully away from each other for 2 years, but if you're looking at reintroducing the full population all at once to mixing again, there's no surprise that after my first night out in McGowan's, that me and a huge cohort of my friends all ended up with the same fucking symptoms. Like, it's basically the article was saying that the common cold is hitting people harder now because their body doesn't actually know how to react to it as well as it used to.
Yeah.
Because you were constantly surrounded by other people's germs. And so people don't realize. So when you take yourself out of that environment to put yourself into a lockdown or a bubble, you'll say, your immune system doesn't have to react as well, or it's not forced to act. So then when you're brought back into a situation or an environment where you then interact with the germs that you would have previously interacted with, or even newer evolved forms, maybe like Pokemon, they could evolve, your body is going to have a harder time fighting it off. So I think it's more of a thing of everyone needing to pump themselves full of some good shit, some vitamins. Get yourself some vitamin D, a few other things, vitamin C, get anything into you that you can, like. But
that's
just
why
try
I
to build
got.
back up the immune system. That's the main part, like,
I think
It
that's why I
has
got
to be
such a
done.
bad dose, that because I haven't been around people in like 2 years. Because I got COVID like proper bad, as you know. I'm still feeling to this day. I'm still feeling tired, fatigued, slight cough. But when I tested positive there 3-4 weeks ago, I got a proper bad dose, and it probably was because I haven't been around people. It maybe the vaccine helped. I'll never know that. Would I have been worse? The only thing worse than being the way I was is death. So I highly doubt it. I highly doubt the vaccine worked or helped, but at the same time, I'll never know. And then
And maybe without the vaccine, who knows? You could have got slapped around by it.
I fucking did.
Yeah, but like if it was that bad after getting vaccinated, like, and they're proven to, like, say, maybe not stop infection, but to help your lungs at least.
Yeah,
Imagine how bad that could have fucking hit you. So
yeah, I know.
thank fuck. Don't know why I'm praying. I don't really believe, but you know yourself. Fair play, bro.
And then going back to the work-life balance,
Yeah.
looking at jobs that are out there, it makes you wonder and think. It changes people's perspective now. That location and hybrid models are like a big factor now. Beforehand, we walked over the south side of Dublin, which was an absolute trek to get to. And I
Yeah.
think,
So County
um,
Dublin.
yeah, and I think people applying for jobs now are looking for another employment. They're weighing up their options with working hybrid and commuting, because we're in a day and age now where you can work from home. What's the point of commuting a fucking hour and a half to work each day? And before COVID hit, I used to always say, if I was offered fucking 60k for a job, I'd travel anywhere for it. But now I'm like, fuck it. I'm happy enough where I am, fucking 10 minutes to my job. Like, the pay obviously isn't great, but at the same time, my mindset has changed from money doesn't buy you happiness, but fuck, I'd rather be happy now than have all the money in the world, to be honest. I'd rather live 10 minutes my job and not deal with the stress of commuting and actually be happy and live off less money. If I got offered a job there, it was over the far side of Dublin 4 and Clonskey for a good bit of money, but I'd have to get 2 buses to get there. It'd take me an hour and a half to get there. I'm like, that, fuck that, it's not worth the money. It really isn't.
Well, that's it. That's the thing. And even if you weigh it up against your transport costs, you could end up coming out with fucking less money. You never know. Like,
That too,
there's a
yeah,
lot of
but
different factors to include.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. See, with the whole work situation, I think over the last year or so, I kind of, just because I've been in the job the entire time, when I definitely would have been a great candidate to go on the fuck. Probably would have been my dream to go on the fuck. You mean I can do nothing for 2 years and get paid 350 quid? Do fucking tell, mate. That would have worked out pretty well for me. But just for the fact that I've been in work for the entire time, it's changed my kind of outlook on my employment situation. I felt like I was gonna, sure, we were both aware of this, but I was gonna move to Spain in the June of 2020, and then obviously the arse fell out of that because of COVID. So I don't know. My idea is to stick around in a current role or move further up before trying to Maybe fucking go travel somewhere. Who knows? We might be doing a long distance podcast. Me in a Cambodian jungle or something like that with the lads that tried to rob Ben Stiller and the boys, Tropic Thunder, making a load of mad shit.
That's
Who
another
knows? You
thing as
could be
well. People are,
traveling.
traveling and moving further away, like somewhere cheaper. People are moving down to fucking the likes of Athlone. Know people down there. People are moving to Louth and commuting counties to Dublin just because it's
People
cheaper.
living in Roscommon to commute to Galway, like it does. It is happening an awful lot. Have you noticed, or have you seen anything about the house prices, and even the rental market in that area and those areas? Any area that'd be historically cheap or cheaper, you'd say, but
So the likes
in
of the
comparison
West,
to Dublin,
like all them.
yeah, the prices all over the country are jumping up, man. They are jumping up because they know that people are moving down from the city, knowing that they can work from home,
Yeah.
and all you need is a solid internet connection.
And which the government are upgrading that. I don't know if it has been or they currently are, but the internet down the country in the arsehole of nowhere is currently being upgraded or has been upgraded. So
Sure,
that's a big
a lot of
factor.
the islands have good internet now.
There you go. So what's the point of fucking living in an expensive city like Dublin?
Yeah, when you can just go off to Achill Island and go surfing all the time, that sounds like a fucking great plan to me. Like,
I seen someone on TikTok, they actually moved to Thailand and worked from there.
yeah. See, if I was able to do that, I actually did ask for work about moving to Spain and still working from Ireland, but they said because it would be in a different tax code, they wouldn't be able to facilitate it. Being a large company, there'd have to be too many strings pulled through accounting to do that, you know. Because if we're working off a different tax code, they'd have to pay me differently. You know for a fact that the lads that work in America that are based in our company and the lads that work in England and Northern Ireland, they pay different rates, even for the same job as ourselves. Like, so I'd imagine if I was to go to Spain to do the same job, because of where I'd be working out of, they would manipulate the pay. Also, I know from a lad that was working down in Cork in the same company as ourselves, and then moved up to Dublin. He would say he started off in Dublin, then he went down to Cork to work in offices down there, and moved back to Dublin because when you went to Cork, his pay, like his salary, was changed to suit the needs of the area. Something along those lines. I think that was how he put it. So I think he ended up coming out with €400 less.
So say the way you said about Spain there.
Yeah.
If you moved to Spain without telling anybody, would that be considered fraud because you're not paying the right tax? Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah, because I wouldn't be located in the country that I'm working out of. So because I wouldn't be do you know what I mean? To the company I'd be working for,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in the place where I said I was. So because of that, I should be getting taxed differently. I should be getting taxed along the lines of how they're taxed in the country that I'd be moving to.
Which
Or
is
that I'd be
probably
working out of.
less, more than likely.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not even sure.
Well,
I have
look,
no
at this
idea how their
cost of
tax
Spain
system
is
works.
probably fucking a lot cheaper, but that
Oh,
makes
that's the
no
thing. I'd be
sense.
moving to. I'd be in the Canaries. That's where I'd be loving to go to.
I'm down there in
But
2 weeks, just saying.
oh, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, there will not be another podcast on next. But I think you have to give me a coffee, you bastard.
No, but see if you did move to like Spain or Thailand or whatever. So in order for you to move there, the job would have to tax you differently in order to live there, which makes no sense because they're based in Ireland. I'm trying to get my head around this because it's a bit confusing to me.
The
And how
company
it
would be
works.
based in Ireland. However, I would not be based in Ireland. Therefore, I cannot be taxed by Ireland because I'm not doing my work living in Ireland. I'm living in Spain. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of get you. Yeah. So
But if I was living in Ireland and working in Ireland, I'd be taxed by Ireland because I'd be working for a company in Ireland. It'd be like if I worked for Deutsche Bank in Ireland. Like,
yeah, that was
if I worked
thinking.
for
Yeah,
Deutsche Bank, the
you get,
Germans wouldn't be able to tax me
yeah, you're
because even though
taxed
it's
by
a
the
German
Irish. Yeah.
company, yeah, you're taxed by the Irish.
Oh, yeah, makes sense now. This had a bit of a brain fart
Plus,
moment. That's where I'll be
it's
headed
the
around
Irish government. It's the Irish government. Everything is taxed.
Literally fucking everything is taxed. Holy mother of Jesus. It's not even funny if you actually look into it what is taxed. You buy a car, it's taxed. You put diesel
And
into it,
you,
that's taxed. You have to put
your
tax on
ma,
the fucking car.
she's taxed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, our outflow is taxed.
No, no, like say if your mum and dad are fortunate enough to own their own home and unfortunate enough to pass away at some stage in their life, and you get left the house, guess what? You're paying capital gains tax.
Would you not get an inheritance tax then and get up to 335 or something? Tax free.
I don't know. So now this is why I didn't pass my exam.
That's the way I did.
Yeah, there you go. If you want genuine financial advice, don't come to either of us. We're not
Oh
fully
God,
qualified.
fuck no. Even if we are fully
Not at all.
qualified, don't come to us.
But if you want to start buying this new crypto, that I'm imagine we start fucking shelling crypto on this. Just do a little pump and dump.
Oh yeah, I heard this new up and coming crypto is actually going to blow up in the next few months. No, we missed.
See, we can't even say that.
No.
The central bank would be straight over.
Central bank. Oh,
Have you
not saying it.
have you seen that about what the central bank are top? Fucking, I've seen it a few times. The whole purpose of cryptocurrency, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically freedom and being decentralized and being a part of a decentralized system or decentralized community, being able to make payments for things and not have to worry about government interference. That's in a nutshell what it is, or the idea behind it. And what you can see nowadays, and especially coming out of Europe, coming out of the States, coming out of the European Central Bank and the Irish Central Bank as well, as we've seen on RTE the other day, they're starting to fearmonger about crypto, starting to bring up anecdotal evidence of people that took out 20 grand loans to buy crypto, only for the crypto to fall through the cracks and go to zero. And to anyone who done that, I say, ha 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 ha, you're a fucking moron. Don't ruin it on the rest of us. Society goes at the pace of the slowest person, and there is no need for us to be able to not be able to buy crypto anymore because some moron decided they wanted to take out a mortgage to buy Bitcoin and then it dropped. That's called being a fucking idiot. And if that does happen to you, just hold on to it. It'll go back up in value at some stage. It's a bit weird that you're getting told not to buy something because it's too volatile and you don't know enough about investing. Yet JP Morgan, fucking banks all over the world, all financial institutions, Elon Musk and all of the everyone that's a billionaire right now, bar Warren Buffett, is saying buy as much of the shit as you possibly fucking can. It's going to be the shit. Like,
That's what I was
don't think
saying
they're
before
idiots.
about the Web 3.0. It's all about the likes of the metaverse, the likes of crypto and all that.
It's who's gonna be first.
Yeah, because
know?
even Elon Musk, the likes of Dogecoin and all that shit, you can actually buy stuff with that.
With
I don't
those,
know, I don't know if it's still a thing now, but every time
Well, you can. What you can do is if you have a crypto, say a crypto.com card, just for example, you can transfer your crypto that you have there directly. Like you can use that to pay for things in certain shops.
yeah, it's weird.
I think Walmart were doing something like that. Amazon were talking about partnering with Shiba a while ago.
Shiba, the fucking coin that's gonna challenge Doge, jeez.
Yeah, that coin that crippled my bank account.
That was fucking gas when you rang me
Yeah.
about that when it first came out.
And all I'll say to you is if you have a shitload of fucking tokens that have been worth the same price for months, don't sell them. Especially not 2 weeks before they fucking 10x, boys. I let
Well,
myself down for about 7 grand in September.
I'm gonna
There
check
you
my
go, mate.
crypto now. I put 30 quid into it in total, right? Which is obviously not a fuckload, but I wanted to put it in just to see what it was like, to see what the market was like and all that shit.
When did you put it in?
Ah, fucking must be about a year or two ago, right? One
Oh, it'll be up
stage,
now.
at one stage, I got it up to 90 quid, and that was all down to Shiba. It spiked at one stage because Elon Musk tweeted about it. I was like, oh, happy days. I'm up, what, 3 times my money, my investment. So let's say I put 30 quid in about, let's say for argument's sake, a year and a half ago. Have a guess how much is in my crypto wallet right now?
35 euro.
32, 36 after a year and a half. I've made two 36 investing in
Jesus, man,
crypto.
think about it. You'd only have to be here for another 500,000 years to make $1 million.
That's not even keeping up with fucking inflation.
No, it's not. There is no keeping up with inflation.
Oh, fuck no. But you know what I mean? Like, it's with crypto, it's like anything. You have to take a risk, but at the same time, it's not a safe place to put your money because that crypto market
it's
can
not.
drop like a motherfucker.
Well, all it takes is one tweet, evidently, and the entire thing shits the bed sometimes. So,
I
but look, all I'll say to you is, if you see cryptocurrencies that are usually valued a lot higher than where they are valued at that moment, that doesn't mean, oh no, the price is crashing. That doesn't mean anything other than Oh, yup, lads, sale. Like when you see something is down 70% in the shop, you're not like, oh no, mini skirts are going out of fashion. You go, oh, that's the mini skirt on sale there. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I jumped the mini skirt there, but you get what I mean. Like
Something to say, Adam.
it's no, but it's not like a piece of food that's gonna go off. It's a fucking digital coin. Like
Yeah. See, the
you know
thing
what I mean?
is,
It's
see the way on
they're
crypto
finite
on the app,
resources.
it has the
Yeah,
top performers, and like you see, let's say for argument's sake, Shiba's up like let's say 70%. People are like, yeah, I'm gonna jump at that now. I'm gonna buy it. It's only
that's
gone one
retarded.
way from there. It's
Yeah,
going
that's
down.
retarded.
That's how people
Yeah,
lose
because
money
you have to
so quick.
look at cycles. You just look at how it cycled in the past and kind of look at like, oh, cool. I wonder if many other people think if they're going to buy any more, or they should buy more, or do they have a fear of missing out? And then you let them all fear of missing out. You let them all buy in, let the price go up, the price will drop lower than it was before. Then you jump on it. And then people go, oh shit, that was worth so much before. And then the price is down so low. I better buy it. Price goes up, you sell high, buy low again. Like, if realistically, it sounds very, very easy. It's a lot more difficult than people think because you're always going to have the temptation to just go, oh, cash out. That's why a lot of people don't win huge money on bets because they're too busy trying to cash out.
Yeah. If
You know what I
crypto
mean?
was
Look
easy,
into the
we'd all be millionaires.
yeah, but all they have to do realistically, in my eyes, is look into the project, look into what it actually stands for and what it aims to do. And if you believe in your heart of hearts that that can work,
Adam,
then by all means, put your money
you
on
have
it.
to stop. You have
I
to
know I've
stop.
seen that, but
Silence.
ladies and gentlemen, I was about to start singing, but you just don't get to hear that because I realised I'm getting recorded. Anyway, guys, this should be a great time to tell you about one of our, who knows, there might be a sponsor at some stage in the future. But guys, if anyone here likes yoga, sorry, if anyone here likes yoga and would like to either do a physical or in person or an online course, feel free to get onto Yoga by M, located in Drumcondra. But as I said, online courses will be here soon. So don't you worry, guys. If you're not flexible, you will be by the end of this. Great for the mind, the body, and the soul.
I have no idea what you said. All the heroes is drunk conjuring after that.
Oh, you don't know what I was saying? Then I may as well tell you too, Aaron. I was just telling the people that if they want to chill out, relax, and be their best self, and maybe get a bit more flexible along the way, then they should check out Yoga by M on Instagram. Doesn't matter if you don't live in Drumcondra or you can't get down to the area. At some stage, there will be online courses available. Go to Yoga by M on Instagram and let us know what you think, guys. I only went down last night, and as you can see, I have a very happy disposition at the minute.
Link
I
in the
felt
bio.
really at peace doing it. Yeah, we'll leave the link in the bio. I felt really happy afterwards, man. I have to say that. I walked out feeling high. And it wasn't just me that said it. No, this is the weirdest thing about it. Two of my friends went down with me and they said it to me afterwards, like, man, I feel a bit fucking like whacked out of here. I was like, I'm not surprised. I nearly fell asleep while we were doing it. We did yoga for 40 minutes and then a 15-minute guided meditation at the end of it. And it was actually phenomenal. Would that ever be something you'd be interested in? Excuse me, guys, for the burp.
I tried it over lockdown, as did probably many people. I tried something different. I tried the yoga, like it was kind of like a sports yoga. So trying to get like my flexibility, my ankle, my joints, and all that shit. I tried it once. I was like, yeah, no, fuck that. But
okay. Well, what I will say to you is get yourself down for one of the classes and look, just see how you like it. You don't have to stay there the entire time. Plus, I can guarantee, me and you'll be the only blokes there.
oh yeah.
Unless you want to get bingo down. I'll give you a funny one. When my mom is doing yoga, like, you know, when it's sunny, you get a lovely summer's morning. I'll walk downstairs to make a cup of tea about like 9:30 or 8 in the morning. Now my mum and my sister probably hear that and just start pissing themselves laughing, being like, he hasn't been up at 8 in the morning, some of Fortnite bastard. But I'll look outside and my mum will be there doing yoga. And Jake, and ladies and gentlemen, anyone that doesn't know Jake is my 14-year-old Labrador, absolute fucking legend. Jake would be there doing down facing dog with her. He starts doing yoga stretches with my mat. It's one of the funniest and cutest things ever. Like, so you know what? I'll get a video of it next time and I'll make sure that I send it on to everyone. Or we'll upload it because it's fucking hilarious.
That is gas.
Anytime, dude. Anytime. But I love that when animals start to imitate their owners. And speaking of an animal imitating their owner, let's talk about Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. Ooh. So obviously Colby battered Masvidal. And then Masvidal decided to hop on Colby. So obviously there's more of a story there. Aaron, just off that, what's your take on the whole situation? I know me and you've chatted a bit in depth about it previously, but for anyone that doesn't know, Colby Covington, UFC fighter, Jorge Masvidal, UFC fighter. Colby Covington went out for a meal with the Nelk boys. One of the Nelk boys texted Jorge Masvidal, who Colby has extremely bad blood with, to say that Colby's down in this restaurant with us. I think it was like Popeye's Steakhouse or Piper. I don't fucking know. Colby walked outside afterwards. Masvidal came along with a mask on him, like a surgical mask that we've all been wearing, the coronavirus mask, a hood up, and sucker punched Colby, hit him 3 or 4 times according to an eyewitness. And Colby ran back inside. Police were called, and there's a possibility that a max sentence Jorge Masvidal could get would be 30 years in prison.
Do you always say that when something happens? They're always like if something happens with McGregor,
He won't get
like,
it.
No,
he wouldn't get it.
no, it's never going to happen. But I just want to say, you only had one
He'd be
bottle
nearly
left.
70 getting out of prison.
You only have one bottle left, and I want this to be our last topic. Cause this just just a general chat. Because I have one more thing I want to bring up.
Yeah, that's why I haven't touched the bottle yet.
Good.
That's why this is just a roadie. Just a roadie.
The likes of that, like, he's a professional fucking fighter. You settle that beef in the ring in front of millions. He got the head knocked off him. He lost. Was it the second time he lost? Or
So they've only ever fought once outside of training. They were former sparring partners and stuff. Former best mates.
I always thought
Colby even for a while. Colby for a while lived on Masvidal's couch, but as Colby put it in the press conference, he didn't live on Masvidal's couch. He lived on Masvidal's wife's couch. There's a lot of bad blood between the two of them. There was a lot of things said by both. But Masvidal's reasoning for the assault afterwards is that he was like, and like what Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. He was like, keep my kid, don't say shit about my kids and all. But if you actually look at the footage, Colby doesn't say anything bad about the kids. Colby just says that Masvidal's a deadbeat dad, which obviously is going to piss off Masvidal. But I wouldn't go with the false pretense of I attacked him because he said something about my children, when it's categorically not true. You know what I mean? There's plenty of reasons, bro. There's plenty of reasons to want to punch Colby Covington in the face. I'm a big fan of him, and sometimes I want to hit him. Like,
I just think it's a bit sly, like going up on someone outside of an event or outside of the octagon in general. They're two professional fighters. It was settled in the ring. He lost. It wasn't even like close, was it? I don't think I watched.
No, it was 54. The scorecards read at the end 50-44.
Yeah, so I think I see the highlights of it. But like if you lost in the ring, either get a rematch or leave at that and fuck off. Like you lost, leave at that. Don't go jumping someone on the fucking street. That's bad out.
Well, I'm of the opinion, in fairness, that Masvidal has passed it, and he has been past it since before the second Usman fight. You know what I mean? And you don't take a shot like he took from Kamaru Usman and come back the same person. I'm surprised he's not floating in a different fucking dimension, because I know his consciousness probably fucking is. Like, that was probably one of the most vicious, like, one punch knockouts I've ever seen in my entire life. Watched a lot of UFC. I've watched a lot of boxing, but that was a vicious knockout. So who knows? Maybe he has a bit of no. See, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something horrible about the fellows. Bring up something like maybe he has a bit of a brain injury there or something, but in a much not so nice of a way. But to be honest, man,
it's cowardly.
It is. Well, if you were to jump on someone from behind with your hood up, you are nothing but a coward. I've heard people try to justify it by saying exactly, but I've heard people try to justify it by saying that, oh, where Masvidal grew up, being a good sucker puncher was a good thing. I'm like, yeah, but we're like in the civilized world. That's not fucking true. Like, if you have beef with someone, old-fashioned way it was, go out, have a scrap. End of the day, it's done. Winner, doesn't matter. It's done. You've had your fight. You've punched the shit out of each other. It's done. I'll leave it. Like, dragging it out after like you have 25 minutes in a cage to like sanction. Like, nothing's gonna happen to you if you kick the head off this fella. But you can't do it in 25 minutes. Why should you be given a chance to sucker punch him and get away with it? Don't think you will get away with it. I don't think it'll be a particularly harsh sentence, but I really don't think it's going to be a light one either. I'd imagine you will get some prison time out of it. And from what I've heard is, I know Colby has pressed charges, but even if Colby wasn't to press charges, the Florida police were more than likely going to press charges for the assault anyway. But We'll see what happens out of it. I just don't believe that Masvidal, by the time, depending on the sentence, he might get out and his career might be over because he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah. Like, see this whole thing with McGregor and Habib. Like, remember he flew over to America and threw a fucking
Oh yeah,
thing through the bus and all. Like,
and Khabib
this-
took a shit on the back of a bus.
but see the likes of all that, like
Yeah, that
damaging
was also ridiculous.
property.
Carry on.
McGregor was fucking getting accused or getting like penalty points, driving mad. Like, see all this shit. You hear in the news, oh, McGregor could face up to fucking 5 years in prison for driving erratically and doing this and blah blah blah. No one ever
Won't though.
comes to that. It's
Yeah.
always news, and that was one thing I was going to bring up on the podcast, but I might leave for another time. It's the news.
No,
in
walk
general.
away if you want.
Right, do you want to start the topic now then?
It's up to you. If you want me to crack open this,
Right.
there's budget out here, I'll do it. Like,
The news in general does my head in. I don't read the newspaper. I don't watch RT News. I don't listen to it on the radio. The news just bugs the fucking life out of me. It's all clickbait. It's all trying to get clicks. It's all about trying to get the people to read their articles, to watch the news. Since the fucking wars happened, there's no mention of probably coronavirus anywhere, but yet numbers are being rampant. I hate the news. I hate everything it does. It just it takes everything out of proportion, and it likes of the Sun, of what they've done in the past. Just the news in general does my head in. People, it can affect people. If people read too much into it, they're there for a scare tactic. It puts people into fear. At the start of the coronavirus, it showed clips of people over in China dropping dead in the street. That wasn't the case. It was putting the fear into people, and it has done over the past 2 years.
even longer.
Even longer, yeah. It's there for scaring people, and if people get all their information from the news in general, whether it be RTA, fucking Channel 4, online, any news source, I just think it's, I wouldn't say inaccurate, but they're trying to oversell a story. That's probably the best way of putting it, overselling it. And
You're dead right.
majority of the time, they probably don't give credit. I've seen plenty of times. It's this fella, I don't know if I mentioned before, the crazy house price fella. He has an Instagram account with fucking thousands of followers. There's always news articles robbing his Instagram stories and putting it out there as their own without crediting him, taking the exact same picture, the exact same information, and putting it out there as their own. Just the news in general does my fucking head in. I think it's out there to scare people, and I don't like it at all.
Baron, is that not what we do on Twitter?
Speak for yourself. You're gonna fucking tweet Masvidal.
Oh, I was gonna tweet Masvidal. Yeah, good thing I didn't, or else he'd be getting a flight over to Dublin from Miami, I suppose. Oh wait, no, you can't because you're locked up.
Well, see what I mean? Like, see,
God, no, this is worse than the tweet, man. He's gonna see this. No, he's not.
you know what I mean?
Someone, if you can, clip that up, and send it to Masvidal.
But you know what I mean? Like, during all this pandemic, every fucking day they're talking about numbers that were inaccurate. They're talking about ICUs. They weren't talking about like real stats. They weren't talking about people who recovered from it. They weren't talking about how these numbers are from like a few months ago thrown into these figures. There was one stage, I don't know when it was last year or the year before, they made, let's say for argument's sake, the figure was like 1,000 cases or whatever. They were backdated from like the previous month, but didn't mention that. They just said, oh, it's 1,000 cases. They never mentioned what the recovery rate was. They never mentioned how many people were in ICU went in with coronavirus. They were saying, oh, there's 20 people in ICU.
Oh, they weren't differentiating between how many people were actually dying from coronavirus and how many people died with coronavirus in their system. Like,
yeah,
you know,
like you can
that was
get
one of the
hit by
things
a
that kind of,
bus and get fucking you have COVID in your system. Oh, you died from COVID. No.
Yeah, see, the way around that they had was like, oh no, they didn't die from it, they died with it. But we count that as a part of the figures. It's like, well, that's not really,
No.
Unless it's an absolute contributing factor or a comorbidity to their death, then I'm sorry, but that's not the case. Look, I do have sympathy for anyone that has died from it. I know people that have died from it. I've been sad for them, you know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't want to spit on their grave or anything like that. But all I'm saying is, along the lines of what you're saying, I feel like the media, man, in a lot of cases, they're poison for the mind and poison for the soul if you look into it too much and take everything that they say verbatim. They're there, as you said, to make money, to get clicks, to get reads. That's all they're looking for. And outrage journalism over the past few years has taken shit way too far, to the point where they know, regardless of what I put up or what the content of this story is, my headline being so outrageous right now, my headline is so outrageous right now that anyone in their right mind is going to click on it. You know what I mean? Half the time you click on an article and it has nothing to do with the title.
No. Just trying to oversell
Completely not. Yeah, exactly. And one of the worst, like genuine, I love looking at it just for the pure fact. I scroll down to the comments. I don't even read the articles because I used to read the articles. Like, wow, like how the fuck did you get this so wrong? But I have to call them out. The journal.ie are one of the worst sources of information I've ever seen in my entire life. The best bit of information you get from that is the full-on comedy show that happens in the fucking comments. Some of it is brilliant. And it's just people starting fights over nothing. Like, it's genuinely people having scraps over, not calling each other Russian bots and all. It's where you were in America, the way they're carrying on. Like, I think that's what the problem is. I think a lot of people over here have the American mindset at the minute, and they're just going a bit too nutty. Like,
I must say, like, I'm not throwing every journalist out there under the same bracket. There are good ones out there. Don't get me wrong. And like,
exactly, Fabrizio Romano, for example.
Oh, what a legend! Who features in
Jim White.
Just saying.
Yeah, Jim White, Simon Jordan.
But see, the likes of what we're doing now, that's class as journalism, isn't it?
Is it though? See, this is something I was actually going to ask you previously. Do you reckon what we're doing right now, would you class that as journalism or would you class that as entertainment? Because I know a lot of people don't call it entertainment, but I don't really think that a podcast can be considered journalism unless you're maybe like unless you're trying to portray a specific point, or you're trying to go and tell a specific story. Like, when Joe Rogan had, just for an example, when Joe Rogan had the North Korean woman on, it's like Yomi Kim or something.
That was a good podcast. Yeah, that was good.
That was brilliant, but that was more information we got more information from her than we ever have from any journalist about what actually goes on in North Korea, because it's first-hand evidence from someone that's actually been there.
And it wasn't taken out of perspective. It was literally just her naming the title and her giving her side of the story. No one
exactly. If you didn't know who she was beforehand, you didn't know she was talking about North Korea or what it was like to live there. The fact that she can give a first-hand account makes a lot more sense to me than a journalist going to interview someone and then writing down what they said and how they took what they said. As we were talking about offense earlier, maybe they say something and a journalist takes something out of context, writes it down, just because they go, oh, this might get more reads, or this will drum up a bit more support or more controversy. Maybe the way forward when it comes to journalism is actually having people sit down in an unedited format where they can actually get their point of view across with someone that's willing to listen and ask the right questions, not to sugarcoat things, not to gloss by things that they think are uncomfortable, but to actually sit there and allow the person to get their point of view across, so that people can actually see where that person is coming from, why they think the way they do, and if there is something wrong with how they're behaving or how they're acting, maybe you can offer them ways of changing, not just shouting at them,
There's another thing as well, it's like taking things out of perspective. So I'm trying to think of an example here, but let's say for argument's sake,
here's one, Joe Rogan and CNN saying that he was taking horse dewormer, when in Joe's own words, I was taking people medicine from a people doctor. I have enough money to not have to buy horse medicine. And then the human Mr. Potato Head, Brian Stelter, it's like, what are you going to do about that, Joe Rogan? I have a weird necktie. Oh.
But let's say
there's one of people that's getting taken completely out of context, just for an example there for you. Like,
let's say for argument's sake, you have let's say 3 people on the street, right? You have, let's say, one fella stand there with a gun pointing at someone, and there's 2 people on the ground, and one of them is a fucking rapist or an armed robber, or someone that fucking probably deserves to be shot, and then beside him is a kid that just happens to be in the shot. You'd get probably some journalists out there taking a picture of the fella standing there with a gun with the kid in shot and not the other subject, and putting that as a title. Oh, mad gunman fucking aims a gun at a kid or something stupid. That, like, it would happen. It wouldn't.
When the actual real title, man, the real title is probably "Man Saves Child from Pedophile."
Like that's just like that.
Like,
It's a very bizarre example, and it's very like out there. But it's a, you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's
it's
different.
what they do. They like
Yeah,
to spin things in their own way and in their own direction to suit their own narrative.
it's
That's all it is.
the Sun with the Hillsborough disaster. That anyone who buys the Sun should be ashamed of yourself. I will never
You're
buy the
right. No,
Sun.
that's a fact, man. They should be ashamed of themselves.
I will never
Well,
buy
you
the
said it to
Sun
me actually,
ever.
wasn't it? It's not the '96 anymore. Unfortunately, it's the '97 now.
Yeah, someone died there recently, last few months from the events of Hillsborough. Like he had I don't know too much about it, but he died. Basically, had injuries from probably Hillsborough, and he died from later in life, sort of thing.
Mm. There's something actually. Do you know what? Just in terms of like shit happening to like things happening, not shit happening, but things happening to football fans and like fucking like things going on at games that shouldn't happen. Obviously, you think of Hillsborough, you think what happened when Leeds played Galatasaray in the UEFA Cup in the early 2000s. To a lesser degree, how much do you think Irish football was shamed at the FA Cup final or the FAI Cup final this year with the violence between the Bows and Pats fans? I know it wasn't nearly as bad as what happened on those days where people died, but the scenes outside the pub for what was such a momentous day for Irish football, where the Aviva Stadium, probably for the first time in FAI Cup final history, was basically sold out, was packed to the rafters. It was a great game of football. For it to be dragged down into the papers to only talk about the next day how there was violence outside a pub in I'm not even too sure. I'm not too sure where. Like that's kind of along the lines of that. Like what do you make of that? Do you think that sorry, this is a double barrel question here. Not a double barrel question. First is on how the media swung that. I don't think that portrays the day as
No,
what it actually was. It was an amazing day for Irish football, but do you think the actions of a few fans has damaged League of Ireland football, especially for that day, like the day that it was, the day that it could have been? It was a showcase event in my eyes to show the entire country that look, the League of Ireland is here, we have a following, and we have the talent here to match it. So why not go out and support our local club? Do you think that kind of the violence outside might turn people off? Or, what's your opinion on that? Because I know there's not a lot of violence in football these days,
I'm
and the
trying.
hooliganism
I'm trying to think. Was
does
there
tend to.
actually any property damage? To my knowledge, there wasn't. It was all just
It was
um,
scraps. It was people punching the head off each other.
a group of. I don't know whether they were Balls fans and all. I heard somewhere they weren't. Weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they weren't. They were not.
Yeah. Whether they were or not, they're not real Balls fans.
Mm.
It took away from today. All the news talked about was that incident, which is a shame because it was the second highest attendance ever at a final. It broke recent records. I think the actual record went back fucking like a good a few years ago, but it did
Yeah,
break
when there was
records.
no such thing as health and safety.
Yeah, like it was a great day. I was buzzing for it. I didn't know what happened. I didn't see anything um going to the match during or after. Um, it the next day, obviously as a Bowls fan, it was a heartbreaking day, but at the same time, it should have been talked about how great the occasion was, how great the fans were throughout the whole game, both sets of fans, the attendance, the amount of kids that were there at the match during it, like in the Aviva, enjoying the match, seeing the future of Irish football, seeing future Irish stars maybe in a few years' time, supporting a local club. The likes of League of Ireland, they don't get many fans for a League of Ireland game. So I think the most you'd get is maybe what 3,000-4,000, maybe maybe
Well,
let's
this
say
year
seven.
it's looking to be it's a bit of a change this year now and how things are getting run. From what I can see,
Yeah,
anyway, seems to be a lot of packed stadiums these days.
but it's never going to reach over 10,000. I don't think. I'm not too sure on the capacity of every stadium, but I don't think you'll get a stadium over 10,000 to my knowledge. I could be
I think
wrong, but
I think I think Tala might be about 10,000 or 15,000. What I believe.
even still, that's it's good for Irish
I
football,
think
but
that would be the only one I'd imagine.
yeah. But compare that to a final in the Aviva where there was the reported 30 something thousand, but mate, that was nearly full to the rim, that place. There was about
It looked
40.
more like 45,000. It looked like it was a nearly full stadium. Like,
And the fact that that was robbed, like that day, I know we both lost and all, it was hard, but that occasion was such a good day. The build up to it was good. Everyone was excited. Everyone was buzzing for it. It was the first, well, I won't say the first time, but um, it would have been one of the first big events that people were allowed to go to with no social distancing. So the occasion itself was taken away by a few idiots that caused a row. They went to a pub where all the Pats fans were and started causing fights and fucking throwing bottles and all that shit. And the fact that that was picked up over the occasion, it just shows people do anything for a click. Like, was I expecting that to happen? Maybe a few idiots, but um, it shouldn't take away from the occasion that was the FA Cup final, and that's just another thing that annoyed me that was picked up. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Maybe a few innocent people got hurt. That's unfortunate, but at the same time, why was that the core focus of all these news outlets? It was literally everywhere. I don't think one of them mentioned the record-breaking attendance, the great displays the two teams showed, the both sets of fans have put on a great atmosphere, great pyro, great like flags, everything. And it's just it was a good occasion for Irish football because last year there wasn't that many people going to, let's say, bowl matches or whatever, blah blah blah. This season he had to stop selling season tickets because he sold that many, and for games now there's literally like a couple of hundred tickets on sale because the amount of people that bought memberships, season tickets. So it was a good promotion for Irish sport and Irish League of Ireland football. But
and long may it continue.
as I said, that just took away from the occasion, and another reason why I hate news outlets.
Yeah. Well, look, come here. There's not really many reasons to like them these days, anyway, is there? Most of the ones that do a good job and seem to actually tell the truth seem to get locked up or killed.
There is a good few, like there is good news outlets out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like
Oh, there's some, yeah.
the majority, just like to twist things and scare people. And I don't, as I said, don't read news, don't look into it, don't get people why sit down and watch fucking RTE news religiously. There's other things going on out there than that they're reporting on.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah,
But you know what I found weird, right? Now, obviously, I'm not in no way, shape, or form side Russia here whatsoever. But I just think it'd be really interesting to see what their state propaganda, you know, their state media is basically fucking propaganda. And RT was like, say, you were on YouTube, they were on Sky for a while. It'd be interesting to see what they're trying to peddle to their own citizens.
they're not mentioning
Would that?
what's going on. They're talking about
But come here,
why
here's the
it's
thing, right? They've been blanket removed from any sort of like Western media or internet, anything like that, completely taken off YouTube. You might be able to find it through DuckDuckGo, but
what I would
remote,
say.
like even exactly, but even Google, like they're not allowing you to go into RT, like you know what I mean? There's been a blanket ban almost on it. But would it not make more sense now that you have the means to go? They're not blocking off CNN in Russia. They're not blocking off anything else. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
because they want to see what people are saying in other countries. Would it not be better to know what the population is being fed over there in terms of information to be able to counteract that misinformation? You know, it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. The media is just so fucking awkward these days, man. It just does my fucking head in, to be honest. They're a lot. Excuse my French here. Sorry, pardon my French there, yeah. But they're a bunch of lying bastards, man. And what I will say to you is the best way to know if your information is true or false is to look at who is giving you the information and look at the reasons as to why they are giving you the information. What do
Yeah.
they stand to gain from you receiving this information from them and from not from someone else?
Do you
If
know
you
what
can
would
do
be?
that, then you know how you can trust a story. That's just
No,
my 2 cents on it.
one thing that annoys me is seeing news articles where it's like uh, pregnant person, blah blah blah. No, pregnant woman,
Yeah,
fucking
pregnant woman.
woman.
Yeah. Well, the dude can't get pregnant, in
Oh
fairness. So.
mate, stuff
I
like
might
that
like
does my
have a
head in as
Chinese.
well.
bro, I might have a Chinese or something like that. I have a big fat Domino's, but at the end of the day, I look pregnant. It doesn't mean I'm gonna pop a baby out. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit mad. Name for me one dude in history that has had a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
no one's. And God love them. That poor flu afterwards.
fuck's sake.
It's just like, do you know what it is? I like next time, right? Do you ever hear about a bloke having a bloke giving birth? Get the clip of Big Shaq. I don't think he had the facilities for that big man. That's what fucking man, categorical evidence there. Biology, man. I cannot grow a baby inside me. I can hardly grow a shit half the time.
But that shit does my head in as well, like saying something along the lines of pregnant person. No, it's a woman. Women have babies.
I heard someone giving it a go at, you know, like as you said, they're pregnant person rather than pregnant. And like, how far is this gonna go? Are managers gonna become peopleagers? What about manhole covers? What about person hole covers? No.
Instead of snowman, snow person.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, I don't mind it at the end of the day, but it's not more important things to focus on than what you're calling like an arbitrary position or like what is it? Yeah, a manhole cover. Who cares? You're walking on it. It's covering the fucking sewer.
Yeah,
No
fuck
one
off.
that should not be the main fucking thing for you, right? Give you another thing, right? Here I was going through Instagram a few weeks ago, and obviously there's bigger fish to fry in terms of things that need to be sorted out. There's obviously the crisis in Ukraine, there's energy crisis, there's fucking money shortages here, there, and fucking everywhere, and inflation's going through the roof. But I seen someone put up on Instagram, you know who you fucking are. And their post was about how female DJs are underrepresented at Irish festivals.
Fuck off.
And how they wanted everyone to sign a petition to make sure that every festival was 50-50 male and female for performers.
Fuck that.
Can I be dead honest? If you're good enough, people are paid to go see it.
That's
If
it.
you're not that good, unfortunately, they're not going to pay to go fucking see it. So, but like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it really doesn't. And why would a festival go? Well, most people want to see all of these people that we have booked already. Like, we're clearly booking anyone that's going to sell a few tickets.
Yeah.
Like, why should they quote it and then have someone feel like shit because they go on stage and no one's there to see them, but the entire rest of the festival is over there reckon it's a Ketamint and Sonny Fodera and like fucking whoever else. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not like they're just like going, oh yeah, don't have birds by a festival. It's like, look, Hannah Wants, fucking Nina Kravitz, man, Peggy Gou. There's three off the top of my head. I've gone to see them. I think they're fucking deadly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just think there's bigger fish to fry. I don't like say don't do it, but like at the end of the day, mate, there's a war somewhere. People are dying. Yemen's getting bombed. Like at the end of the day, don't ask me to feel bad because a female DJ didn't get picked over fucking Sonny Fodera, as I said, because I'd rather go see Sonny over most people.
And that's why fucking Lewis Hamilton, likes of him, annoys me. He's saying there should be more diversity in F1. There should be more black drivers and all this shit.
But like,
there should be the fucking best person for the car.
The best, yeah.
F1 is most diverse fucking thing ever. It has fucking Spanish, British, Russian, fucking French, Montenegrin, Japanese.
Here.
Like, what more do you want?
In fairness, and you're looking at some of the lads that used to like Finnish. Look at Kimi Räikkönen's Finnish. I wouldn't even mind. We can name the lads from the countries that we're talking about. Like, you know what I mean?
German has fucking Michael Schumacher, Mick Schumacher,
Ralph Schumacher.
A
lot of Schumachers.
Vettel.
As he said, Finland has Räikkönen. Spain has Alonso. Brazil had Massa. You know what I mean? Verstappen. Where's he from? Tell the people, Aaron. Yup,
English, you have Russell, man. Hamilton, Lando, Australian, Ricardo, Canada, Latifi.
Canada have Stroll.
And
wasn't it that Russian guy?
Mazepin.
I think they want us to forget about them. Man, just if you're Mazepin, will it?
No, but you know what I mean? Like, how diverse can you get? Just because their skin colour doesn't match yours doesn't mean it's not a diverse sport. Like, that shit annoys me. It shouldn't matter on the skin colour. Stop trying to make something that's not there. I'm not racist around, but that shit annoys me.
Yeah, I'm more about like, look, if you're the best at it, you're gonna get the job. F1 is one of them sports where I'm like, in fairness, if you're the best of a load of rich boys that can afford to get like Brock Carton all the time, then look, fair play to you. But like, I don't see anything that like I don't look at any elite level company. You don't see someone, right? You know, like if you look at 100-meter sprinters in the Olympics, right? Say if they allowed any, like regardless of what country you're from. It was just like, say, if all the Jamaicans, say 10 Jamaicans tried out and they had the 10 fastest times and there was 10 in the race, they all get in. I'm not going to complain about that. I want to see who the fastest fucker in the world is.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. Like, when Lewis Hamilton was winning, I would like say I didn't really care at the start. When Sky Sports went on about for ages being the best driver in the world, sorry mate, you're not the best F1 driver in the world. You have the fastest car.
Yeah.
Same way
Sebastian
Vettel, exactly. Same way Sebastian Vettel, when he was with Red Bull, had the fastest car for season after season after season. Didn't make him the best driver in the world. Made him a good driver. So it makes Hamilton a good driver. But if you have the best equipment and you're winning, maybe it's not all down to skill. And as you said yourself there, this season has proven that. Where did he come? He started 16th in the last race and finished 10th, which isn't too bad. But I'm pretty sure Fernando Alonso did that with a shitter car for the entirety of last season. And him and his teammate, was it Ocon, his teammate?
Who would say was
Two of them nearly take. Was it
Alonso?
Was it Ocon? Yeah.
Alonso and Ocon, yeah.
Yeah. Two of them are nearly taking each other off the map. Hamilton had Bottas. Yeah, Hamilton had Bottas plowing into fucking Verstappen on who's the other lad? Perez and Leclerc. He's just trying to take everyone out. Like, Hamilton has nothing to moan about. He has nothing to moan about. I don't like to do it. I think he's a moany bastard. He was with Nicole Scherzinger, for God's sake. Have you seen her? How could you moan if you were with her? She's gorgeous, man. Like, maybe he's moaning because she's about 4 feet taller, but like still.
So basically, his argument is like, let's say, for argument's sake, let's take out Latifi, Albon, fucking Bottas, fucking all those people. Let's take them out and just put black people in there. See, just to have diversity in the group, just to have a few black people in there. No.
But as we said, it's not like it's not a diverse sport. Like, you have people like, it's a rich history through loads of different countries. It's a diverse enough sport that they can fucking have races in Canada, Saudi Arabia, Austria, fucking Belgium, fucking anywhere in the world, Australia,
anywhere,
everywhere. They will literally, if you have a track, they will race there. I don't see what his point is. Like, at the end of the day, what effect does it have on him if there's another black fella driving? Be honest, right? If he takes a job away from a Japanese fella, then does that make it right? Or does that have to be like what's the story here? I don't get what his point is in terms of it has to be more diverse. Should it not be a thing of we have the best drivers in the world here, and we know that they're the best drivers in the world, not because that we have quotas to fill.
It's proven in F2, they've proven through go-karting.
Yeah, go-karting from GP4 to GP3 all the way up to GP1 to F2 to F1. These people have been proving it for years. They've been doing it their entire fucking life. I don't see any issue there in having the best drivers in the world race against the best drivers in the world. Like, you know, do you know what I mean? I know you agree with me. I wonder what the people think at home. Probably think we're massive racists here just because we're saying maybe the best people at the sport should be the best people. It should be the people doing the sport at the highest level. It'd be like saying Ronaldo's Portuguese. It's like saying there's too many Portuguese players at Wolves. So, like, Ruben Neves, we're going to make this a bit more diverse and give you away on a free, even though you're worth 60 million. I'd be like, if I was a Wolves fan, I'd be like, hang on, mate. That's not going to happen. That's not going down like this. Yeah. Unless you get something better. We all know Ruben Neves. Tops.
I see the thing, like, the likes of, let's say, managers or a sports presenter, like, it should be more diverse, get women involved, all this. Yeah, if they're fit for the job and they're qualified enough.
Like what Ireland did. Like what RTE did with Stephanie Roach. Why should she not be on a panel? She was nominated for a Podcast Award.
Yeah.
That's more than most Irish players will ever get fucking nominated for. Do you know what I mean? Unless John O'Shea randomly popped up in the history of the FIFA Pro 11 or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We haven't had a world-class player or probably a world-class goal scorer or scored a world-class goal from Stephanie Roach until Troy Parrott the other night.
That was a good finish for us.
It was. Look, I have no problem with anyone getting hired for a job. I just like it when it's the best person. And I feel like I was actually chatting to a female guard a few weeks ago. One of the first nights when I was back in, female guard, a band guard. I was chatting to a band guard at McGowan's a few weeks ago. And I was talking to her about how I was like, oh, come here, look, there's certain certain roles you can go for. And because like there's quotas and everything like that, you probably have a really good chance of getting in. She goes, yeah, but I don't want it like that. I was like, that's fair enough. I go, but look here, while you have the chance, you may as well exploit the opportunity. And she goes, look, I know, I get what you're saying, and I know you're just trying to be nice and all, but I don't want to play things like that. I want to get the job because I'm the best at the job, not because of getting offered it because I'm a woman. And I went to her, do you mind if I give you a hug? Because that's fucking great to her.
Yeah.
Like if more people had that attitude and weren't just chasing a paycheck, that'd be great. But you know, it's not always like that. But I do have tremendous respect for people that do things like that. I have tremendous respect for anyone that's at the top of the game, that is performing at the top of the game because they fucking deserve to be there. Much as I don't like Lewis Hamilton, I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve to be in Formula One. That is what, a 6-time world champion. Might have had an amazing car for most of it. 7-time world champion. He still won it without the best car, didn't
he? Yeah, back
So
in the
there you
day,
go.
probably, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I think it was either I think it might have been with McLaren, like at the time.
Just one thing before I finish up, because I'm fucking milking this thing for the past probably 10 minutes.
Right.
You see the thing? No, don't. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Still a bit left. There's still a bit left. Don't worry. I was just going to take the piss out of you.
There's one thing I wanted to mention before we finish up here. The lad who turned trans, the swimmer, who went and swam with the women and broke every fucking record. He was ranked 460.
Leah Thomas, didn't it?
Something like that, yeah. He was ranked 400, over 400 in the men's competition. Transgender to a woman, a transition to a woman, and broke every record, came fourth and all that. That is.
Does he still have? Do they still have the man bits, or like, have they got surgeries? Okay, but like, have they been going? See, my old opinion on that is like, rather than going, well, like, see, right, here's the best way to put it, right? It maybe doesn't qualify for swimming, but they always say this, like in the States, like in the NBA, there's no rules to say that women can't play in the NBA. There's a WNBA there because I don't see any woman out jumping LeBron James, like, do you know what I mean? Or fucking any of them. There's a reason that they have the WNBA, so maybe there's a reason, like physical differences, that they have male and female divisions in most sports. Like it's kind of fucking common sense here, and like anyone that has an argument with it is someone that has a head up their arse. Like at the end of the day, I've no problem with someone that's trans doing fucking anything at this stage as long as they're not punching the head off someone, you know, fucking assaulting someone, as we said. That seems to be a common theme in this. As long as no one's assaulting anyone, I don't care. But I just want to say this just so I come across clearly here. I have no problem with anything like that. But if you want to go into sports, why not have a transgender division?
Yeah.
Same way there's a male division, same way there's a female division. Same way in most sports when it comes to being able to fight each other. Any combat sport, there's weight divisions for a reason. Mike Tyson said this. He was asked, what would happen if you fought Bruce Lee? He goes, well, if Bruce won, I'd have so much respect for him. But at the end of the day, it'd be like me fighting Floyd. Bruce was 135 pounds. I was a fucking heavyweight.
Yeah.
There's weight classes for a reason. Doesn't mean you're not skilled. It doesn't mean you're not an amazing practitioner of whatever you're doing. It just means that maybe you shouldn't be competing against people that aren't necessarily on the same level as you.
Yeah.
There's a reason that there's higher level classes in school and there's ordinary level classes in school. For the people that are going to excel in a certain subject, let them excel in it. Do you know what I mean? People that are struggling with it, maybe stay with the people that are struggling, because then you can all get brought up together. Not to say that people that are doing women's sports are struggling, but do you get what I mean there? Like, yeah. I feel like if it becomes a thing where you're looking at the fucking Olympic Games and say weightlifting, for example, or taekwondo, right? It's just or boxing, right? Say Katie Taylor's in there, she's gone back to amateur for whatever reason, or the next Katie Taylor. Do you know what I mean? Is there like yup, and she gets in there with Michael Conlon in a dress.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's gonna fucking turn out too well, and that looks like to me a man beating a woman around. That's not cool. There's a reason that they're separated. I don't think that's a bad reason. I think genuinely it's there to protect people.
Yeah.
And when it comes to that, that's probably the best way to go about it. As I said, if you want to make a transgender division, let them make a transgender division. No problem with that. At the end of the day, I just want to see the best people in sport do the best they can against the best of competition. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And there's no point in watching me try outlift Eddie Hall and fucking strongman. I'm not going to be able to do any of them. That's not going to be entertaining. It's going to be Eddie Hall doing all the challenges while I lie on the ground flying.
Yeah.
That might actually be pretty entertaining.
Don't get me wrong. Like, there are events out there where it will be equal or women will be more dominant, but there are events out there like where men will dominate. There will be
tennis, for example. There's a dude, right, that was ranked outside the top 500 in tennis, man. Or he was ranked outside the top 300 in tennis, and he beat Serena and Venus Williams in the same day. Like, and they're two of the best, two of the best female tennis players of all time. It's just like difference. It's difference in bone density, difference in power, difference in strength, differences in quick twitch muscle fiber. There's a few differences. There's reasons for this shit. Like, not everything is set up in a bad way to hold people down. Some of it is actually there to keep people safe, keep people happy, and allow people the opportunity to become a champion if they pursue that and if they so wish to do it. You know?
I feel sorry for people, let's say, for argument's sake, in the women's swimming, that have worked a whole life, broke the record, to have it taken away by someone who transitioned to a woman, to have it taken away from them with little to no effort, probably. So,
I'll be honest, I don't.
For the women?
In the slightest. I only do in one case. I do if you made a fuss about it beforehand and said, look, come here, I don't think it's right. Then I feel bad for you if you lost. Because at least you've expressed your opinion. Otherwise, if you're saying it afterwards, it means you're a sore loser.
And after that swimming event, the women took a picture together, let him, or wherever, standing by itself.
Just say, you're better off. If you don't know what pronoun to use, just say they. It just keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah,
but then again, maybe we want a bit of controversy because controversy is cash, eh?
I'm not getting the fucking
And we
pronouns.
are capitalists, baby.
I'm not getting the pronouns.
You better watch your microaggressions, bro.
That's a different story. I'm finishing this. Fuck that.
Yeah, finish that. Down your gargle there and I'll go with you. Sláinte. Guys, once again, if you like this episode of the After Sesh podcast, you are more than welcome to join us by liking, sharing, and subscribing. We haven't got a Patreon because we don't upload nearly as much as we should. If you want to try get in contact with us, work away, lads. We are genuinely most likely free. If you know anyone that you want to hear on the podcast, there's Bingo, our favorite guest. If you have any guest or anyone that you think that we would enjoy talking to or that you would enjoy listening to, and we might have the scope to go and reach them, you let us know. We're definitely going to have a few exciting guests coming up over the next few weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this. Aaron, do you want to leave them something?
I thought you were going to say something. I was waiting for a bad inspiration quote or something.
When you find yourself in the depths of despair, gargles, that usually works. You might ring someone you shouldn't, but like, shut up. Come here. Lads, anyway, we're off. Tip your waitresses and don't be a cunt on the way home. Make sure you don't drink and drive. And especially hit that like button. Hit that like button if you think Bingo is a sexy little bastard. We're out.
Tongue me. Help me.